Hello everyone, my name is Lunar. I am 27 years of age, I live in Bangalore and I have majored in literature. Because of my major, I tend to write and learn from my every experience with weed or any other substances to reflect later on what I have learned from these experiences. The experience I am sharing with you guys is of when I smoked weed. Some background about me first. I have tried cigarettes, alcohol, and one time I tried mushroom when I was in Kerala for a business trip. I will share that experience some other time though, because the experience which I want to share today is much more profound in my own perspective. Since I was the age of 20, I have been smoking weed on and off, but in my circle of people, no one is interested in weed or any other substances because they are already addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. Well, that's enough info about me and let me start with my experience. अभी जब मैं explanation के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ, I have realized it is very hard for me to explain the experience which I have gone through with words. Because a question arises in my head that how can someone understand something which they have never experienced themselves? So मैं अभी ही सबको sorry बोल देता हूँ if no one can understand what I am saying about. Now, with that disclaimer, let me start. The following is an almost word-for-word copy of what I wrote down in my journal the day after my experience. Last night was the most intense experience I have had in my life. It all started when मैं और मेरा एक दोस्त पब में गए थे जहां हम यूजुअली वर्क के बाद कुछ ड्रिंक्स के लिए जाते हैं. Although I didn't drink that day because the day was a weekday and there was some pending work that needed my concentration. Although my friend drank and he was the one who had some weed in the car. Because the bouncer would have checked his pockets while entering the pub, so we left it in my car. After meeting some friends and having a longest conversation, we went back to the car. And I decided to drive as my friend was drunk. We sat in the car and he said, I have some weed, can you make me a joint? I give it a thought and said, why not? Because in my early years of age, weed has sparked the writer inside of me. So mostly it have helped me in my early age. So I made 2 joints thinking I will take one home for myself to use it for writing. I took the lighter and lit the joint and took around 2 or 3 puffs and passed it to my friend. As I started the car and started driving, after 5 minutes or so, the effects really started to hit me hard. मुझे स्मोक करने के बाद अनईजी फील होने लगा एंड मेरे थॉट्स भी बहुत नेगेटिव हो गए कि मैं ये क्या कर रहा हूँ. I am driving. What if we crashed into another car? Or what if police sees us? And don't know what else thought ran in my mind in that moment. As my paranoia heightened, I started feeling chest pains. So I started playing music to calm myself and turned the car and took the car from less crowded route which had more trees and nature to the side of the road. As I started to feel much calmer, I lowered my window to feel the wind, which was a good idea because wind really calmed me on a great level. After driving, मैं मेरे दोस्त को उसके घर के नीचे छोड़ता हूँ and सीधे मेरे घर पे जाता हूँ. After keeping the keys on the table, I went into the kitchen and एक पानी का बॉटल लेके बेडरूम में चले जाता हूँ. A course in miracle बुक रीड करने लगता हूँ जो साइकोलॉजिकल एंड स्पिरिचुअल टीचिंग्स पे है. ये टॉपिक्स जनरली मुझे बहुत पसंद है रीड करने के लिए. होपिंग दैट इट वुड काम मी डाउन, बट मैं रीडिंग पे बिल्कुल भी फोकस नहीं कर पाता. माई माइंड वॉज टू मेसी टू फोकस फ्रॉम द पैनिक आई फेल्ट इन द कार. So I set the book down and closed my eyes. As I closed my eyes, मुझे floating objects and shape दिखने लगे, and they were like prism shape जो rotate हो रहे थे. Even though my eyes were closed, it felt like I can see in the darkness which is always there behind my closed eyes. It was strange for me because I have never had any visuals from weed before. मैं म्यूज़िक पे ध्यान देने लगा and relaxed my body with the music. जैसे जैसे मैं रिलैक्स होते गया एंड म्यूज़िक पे ध्यान देते गया, वैसे वैसे वो पैटर्न्स और विजुअल्स स्ट्रॉन्ग होते गए एंड जो पैरानोया था वो भी फेड होते गया. बट आई फेल्ट एन अर्ज टू लाई डाउन ऑन द बेड, सो आई गॉट अप, turned off the lights and laid down on my back on the bed. As I laid down on the bed, a pure sensation started coming over me, making me feel like I'm floating on water. The weight of my body was non-existing. That sensation started from my legs and started coming upwards. It felt like I was having an orgasm, but more like an internal orgasm, not a physical one. This feeling surprised me and I got up from the bed. थोड़ी देर सोचने के बाद कि ये सेंसेशन क्या है, I went to the bed again. But this time I laid on my stomach. इस बार मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि कोई मुझे नीचे खींच रहा है. It was close to the feeling जहाँ हम नींद में जाने के एकदम क्लोज होते हैं. But इस बार मैं बेड से उठा नहीं. Unlike before, I let go. I wanted to be in that moment, so I lived into the arms of the unknown. And all matter vanished behind me. It felt like I had fallen into an ocean of pure spirits. The orgasmic tingling had filled my entire being. It was a sensation so intense that no words can explain it, no matter how I try. Even though the feeling was extremely intense, it felt incomplete. Because इतना intense experience होने के बाद मुझे ऐसा feel हुआ कि there should have been someone with me, not in the room, but on the same level of existence to feel that I have belonged somewhere. The exact feeling was that this reality seemed more real than the physical world which we live in, which had faded away like a memory. This level of existence seemed to penetrate the physical world like water within balloons. It felt like मैं ये moment में सिर्फ soul बन चुका था and was very content that I am somewhere where I belong. After 20 or 30 minutes, I returned to the physical world. I felt so alive in that moment that no evil can harm me now. I had seen a whole new world beyond evil and pain. In the after effects, I wrote down the sensation and wisdom of the experience in a notebook. And मैंने ये ही सब लिखा जो तुम सब अभी सुन रहे हो. थोड़ी देर बाद I started my laptop and watched a movie. The movie name was FANTASIA, which was just beautiful. After the movie मुझे नींद आने लगी और मैं सो गया. Next day जब मैं उठा, the feeling जहाँ I felt so alive and the evil cannot touch me वाली feeling जा चुकी थी. And I was again on the base level of my consciousness. पर उस रात मैंने मेरे थॉट्स को वन लाइनर्स में लिखने की कोशिश की थी. And I would like to share those words with you. First, our thoughts create our reality. Whatever you think, you become. Second, there is two sides to everything, good and a bad. Choose what kind of life you want and have that kind of thoughts. Third, my body is just a shell covering my spirit. Keep it flowing. Fourth, the past does not control the present. Fifth, no short-term memory, for it is meaningless. Now is the concern. Sixth, green lines of energy just help my view. Sight is not important. Feeling is. And below all of these points, I wrote down in capital, don't forget, remember what's real. In the end, I think कि ये जो मेरा experience था, it was not because of weed, but weed just helped me to open the door for the experience to that level of existence. मुझे जब ये experience हुआ था, तब मैं ना ही कोई pharmaceuticals यूज़ कर रहा था एंड ना ही मैंने अल्कोहल कंज्यूम किया था. एंड इस मोमेंट से पहले मुझे कभी भी कोई ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं हुआ है जो ये एक्सपीरियंस के इंटेंसिटी के क्लोज भी होगा. जबकि मैंने ये एक्सपीरियंस के पहले बहुत ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में वीड स्मोक किया है एंड मशरूम भी ट्राई किया है, बट स्टिल मैं ये मोमेंट को मेरे लाइफ का सबसे लविंग एंड इंटेंस मोमेंट बिलीव करता हूँ. Thank you, Luna, to share this amazing experience of yours with all of us. And thank you for watching and listening. And always remember, peace, love, unity, respect. Bye bye, fellow travelers. See you on the other side.